It says you're live, but that means let me refresh and we need to give it a couple seconds.
23 people are waiting, it says.
There we are. All right, I'm gonna just say hello in the chat.
Oh, it's done. It says
Um,
live. Yeah, I see it.
We need to give it a couple seconds.
Yay.
Oh wow, it says 25 people are watching already. Ooh, I think people have been excited. They've been waiting.
Oh, good.
All right, cool. In that case, if we already have 25 people with us, I will get us started and just say hello and welcome and thank you for spending your Friday with us. Hi, AACC, Janet, Karen,
Yeah, I'm here.
present, Melinda. Yeah.
Melinda.
Oh, I
Yay.
think maybe that might be Cindy who just commented. She said she was going to try and make it. Hello.
Good.
Oh, awesome.
Priscilla's
So
face
today
from
we have a really fun live stream, and it's extra special because Karen actually designed the origami paper that she's going to be showing in today's live stream herself. And this is, I think, the third um, set or third series of customized origami that kind of has this feeling. She's even made other customized design origami paper that we've had for longer, but this one's been super fun. And we have three packs that Karen's going to get into. It's the blue scribbles, the mixed media collage, and monochrome marks. They are pretty brand new, so they're still making their way into stores, so keep an eye out for them, or search them up online. They're gorgeous, as you can see, and they're double-sided, which is new for us. We're really excited about that. And they retail for under $10. You'll find them listed at 9.50 or lower, depending on which store you find them at. I'll be in the comments answering questions and just responding to things over there, or I'll read out your comments or questions to Karen if it's something that we want to ask her or share with her. I will also be listing the products that Karen's using in the description of this video. So that won't be a live update. You'll have to refresh the video to see that updated, or just ask me in the comments if you have a question about what she's using, or at the end of the video, refresh and it'll all be listed there. And if you have any questions, again, feel free to type them into the comment box. But that's it for me, and I'm going to hand it on over to Karen. Thank you.
Thank you, Phoebe. I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
If people wanted to buy these right now, because you know how we are, we don't when we see something we like, is it possible to buy it on our Shopify site?
Yes, you can buy it from the Yasutomo online store. The URL for that is just shop.yasutomo.com. It's only in a couple stores as of now. I just checked on the West Coast. There's a couple at Art Central and also Arches in San Francisco, I believe.
Oh,
So if you really can't wait to get your hands on them, which we totally understand, of course, you can buy them from our online shop, which is shop.yasutomo.com.
thank you. I mean, I know that the stores, we want to give them a chance to sell it too, but when we show these, it's kind of like it's teasing. At least we want them to, at least we want to know we can get them now if we need it, if we absolutely have to have them. So I'm opening up my package. It's a little noisy. Sorry about that. But I wanted to show you how they are out of the package. And you know what I do, just to, there's a couple things. Package is very minimal, but you get a little instruction sheet in here, which is kind of nice if you want to just have an activity. You've got some fun little models in here that you could play with. And then what I always do is I save this little piece of cardboard right here. This is like gold. It's just the perfect weight of chipboard. And I only find it in the origami packs. So, if you're getting them, don't lose, don't save them. They're really handy. So I always do that. And I just want to show you, this is the first one. This is this called Blue Scribbles. And you can see the double-sided, you've got a pattern on one side and you have a kind of a little bit, it's still a pattern, but it's a much more subtle. It's got color, but this is, I happen to say I love double-sided papers. I always have. Whenever I see one, anywhere I pick it up because I love seeing the two sides. And it also feels more sturdy than other paper. Now, I don't know what the weight is up here. I think, maybe if you can tell me the weight, I always forget. Um,
81.4 GSM.
and what is our normal paper? What's the normal like kami weight? Is that like,
So the ones that we have that Karen's designed, they're all going to be this same weight, 81 point 4 GSM. And then our other ones, I'm just going to double check what it says here to make sure the kami weight I give you is correct. Kami weight is going to be more like 57 GSM.
okay, great. So yeah, that's the kind of wanted to just sort of confirm that it is a little thicker, but it's not too thick to fold. And that's important for people who do origami because some of the papers that are, thick, like I've this double-sided scrapbook papers that you get on a pad, they're pretty thick and, they're hard to fold. This paper, of course, is printed in Japan. So it's designed here, right? Designed here, but printed in Japan. I'm just going to open up the other pack. Um, and because it's printed in Japan, it is paper that you will definitely know that's first of all square, it's perfectly square, and it will withstand all the multiple folds and cracking and that could happen. It does not crack. I was gonna say you would eliminate the cracking that sometimes happens on some papers where they kind of get, you fold them back and forth and then it splits the coating or whatever, the printing, and then it looks terrible. This does not. So this is what makes it good for little small book covers, journal covers. You're not going to get that split or just small little elements that you might have in your journals or your mixed media projects. So for your origami, mixed media, collage, look at that. I just wanted to show you those. That's the 3 packs. And just taking out the 3 packs. And if you get all 3 packs, you get this nice collection of colors and fun. Now, I'm going to show you the things that I like to do with it. And I've got 2 kind of folding things I want to share with you because it is origami paper, and I just wanted to share something today because this weekend is, oh, we've got Mother's Day, right? We've got Mother's Day coming up, and this is if you remember, I did these flowers, these tulips, a couple years ago or so, and I had them in a glass vase, and I thought, what a fun project! I made this little vase out of the double-sided paper and it's 6 units. And I don't know if I think I've got this on my website, on my YouTube channel. It's really easy to fold either way. Um, it's called a pencil case or I forgot now. But what's nice about it, I can get that link if you need it because it is really cool. And I hope I can remember how to fold it if I show it today. But what's nice is it kind of holds the flowers up without having to, they kind of, those little dividers hold it up. It does hold pencils too, but I like it for these little paper flowers. And I think this paper, because of the double-sided quality, you've got this really pretty inside of that. So I wanted to share with you that. And the other thing I've been making this week, and I'll kind of clear out as I go, is I made these little pockets, and I'm going to show you how I folded these. They're so cute, and I think I might have folded them with you before, probably. I mean, I have a few of my favorite folds, but these will fit your artist trading cards, gift cards, like, yeah, gift cards, which, in time for Mother's Day gift, or it could be a table setting, a card on your table. But I just think these are really cute. I'll show you how I folded those. So I'm going to put it somewhere here so I remember. But the double-sided thing, this is a double-sided model that normally when I fold it is just a pop-up box. It's actually in our book, one of our books, Creative Origami, or it's in one of our sets. And oh, look, Laura, great people are here. Everybody's here. Hi. I just want to say hi to everybody. So this one is just a simple, very simple box. And because it's double-sided, it looks more interesting, I think, than just the white. And this one is a little butterfly folded. Same thing because it's double-sided. It really is nice. And also because the paper's a little thicker, I was able to do a little doodling over it. I don't know if you can, see that, but I actually took an opaque marker I thought I'd try, and I'll show you all this later. It's a little liquid chrome marker from Molotow. Interesting. I just pulled it out today and I thought it was nice to just add a little highlight on that. I'm going to set these little guys aside. And then this one, this is a book I made out of this same paper. And it's one of these, we've been doing this book for 100 years. This is in my book. Origami card craft. It's just a very, I think it was like 2003 or maybe 1999. I don't know, the first time I made one of these books. But what's nice about this, I made it so that the solid was on the inside pages so I can journal on it and handwrite. I could collage on this. And I left the busy or the more decorative side on the outside. And this is just a simple fold. It's a standard base that you just glue together. And please let me know if you want me to show you how I made this, at least give you the basic idea. I was planning to do some other stuff, but I want to know in the comments what you want to see. I'm showing you a lot and I'm gonna, you can kind of just tell me, hey, I want to know a little more about that. So I'll put that aside. This is a box that I folded out of the paper and I did a little double-sided thing. This is a Tomoko Fusei box. I love this thing. I've been doing it forever. And this is one of the folds that I never forget. And I do this one at least once a month so that I keep my brain remembering it. Very important to keep, the memory, to keep those memories, you just have to practice. So, and this is just the heart that I always love folding and I did it out of it. And I love the little double-sided, so you can see double-sided paper. Here's some hens from this came from the Origami USA collection. These are so cute with this paper, little hens with little collaged bodies. I think that makes it fun. And then I'm showing you these as I go, and then once my table's clear, I can start creating. Let's see. Oh, that book is the
And
first one.
AA says, yes, please show us. And a lot of people are just saying that they've got your book and even your DVD. Someone referenced something with the killer high heel shoes.
Oh
So
yeah.
people know what you're talking about and they love it.
Oh yeah, that's right. My high heel shoes. Oh, that's actually I was so obsessed with those shoes for so long, and I haven't made any in a while. But that would be fun to do. This is remember our little. This is the Margaret Fong design, and I love it out of this double-sided paper, and that's kind of why I put some of these with a pink background because I love that pink against the skin color on these. And I was making cat heads. If anybody takes my watercolor for joy class, I actually should show you. It's so funny. I put little cat heads on these, and it made me laugh really hard. So anyway, I just keep going. I get, I when left to my own devices, I get really crazy. It's kind of fun. Now, then, oh, this one's a good one too. This one's, I believe the designer is Iweko, oh boy, Kawete. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced her name, but Leila Torres does a fantastic tutorial on this fold. And it's really basically, it's made out of several units that look just like this. Okay, that's what they look like. And if I can remember, I'll remember. I could show you if you need to know, but it's Leila Torres does a fantastic demo on it. But look how gorgeous this looks with this scribbles paper or the black and white. You can use this for putting paper clips, for putting little treats, I think for my cat, I'm gonna make like I'll put some treats in there so he'll have to find them. I don't know, it'd be kind of fun. But it also makes a fantastic book. So you can use this as your structure, your book structure, and it's like a pocket book. You just put a cover on the front and the back. I've done that a lot and I love it. So that's just some kind of a fun model. And I just put up on my YouTube channel how to fold these little pots. And I'm going to pay homage to Gay Merrill Gross. She just recently passed away. She was a brilliant origami storyteller, designer, and a really wonderful human being. And she just recently passed. And I saw her in her book called Minigami. So check it out. Go on Amazon, go on Thrift Books. It's called Minigami, and it's by her, and she has this is in it. Of course, I revised it a little. This is her fold, and then I did a little different way of doing it. It has a solid back. And I'm going to show you that today because I wanted to show you. And I want to show you how I did these because I had a lot of views this week on this particular this little card. And I'm going to tell you the process of it. I won't be able to do the whole thing. It would take over an hour, but I'm going to do what I can to give you as much information that you need that you can make one today or tonight and give it to your, loved one. Yeah, and it's a great get well card too. And someone mentioned Carol Duvall. Yes. And it was, oh, that's so great. Oh, and Nancy's here too. Yeah, I'm just reading, trying to read a little bit here. Wonderful. So glad everybody's here. So
Yeah, and then
this,
Karen, I'll also just catch up on the comments. Somebody said, Cindy said that she would love to see how you make those pockets, the little origami pockets.
oh,
Someone else
this.
asked about the book. So I'm trying to find the links that Karen's mentioning as they come up. And I'm gonna be dropping those. I'm dropping those into the description box, so you could refresh the video, and you should be able to find them over there. So
Okay,
just
so
want to point those out. Yeah.
thank you so much. Now, I'm just for the first thing, I'm going to kind of push things away a little. And I've got some plans for you, so I want to inspire you. So like for a quick gift or a quick card, I'm going to go ahead. Card, what am I saying? I'm going to pick, it's always the hardest thing. Which color do I want to pick? Oh boy. I'm just going to pick this one because I love that color. And I'm going to take, this is 15 centimeters square. So I'm going to take, so whatever that, this is a 7.5, right? Yeah, 7.5. I hope I'm right because my brain just fried.
Sounds right.
7.5 cuts it in half. Oh, and I'm not gonna do 7.5. That would cut it in half. No, 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 Karen. So what it is I'm gonna make this a 4 inch, it's gonna be 4 inches across by 6. So 4 by 6. So I'm cutting 2 inches off, leaving 4, and this is gonna make your pocket just the right size. So please, yeah, ignore me for that first part. So you're cutting 2 inches off, and if you don't cut exactly, it could be, I don't know, it just needs to be this format, like a 4 by 3. It's kind of loosely, it's a rectangle, a little bit bigger or longer in length than a 8.5 by 11 size, more like an A. Oh boy, I'm not gonna start remembering those things. But anyway, 4 by 6, approximately. And what you're gonna do with this one is, let's say you have your little card, your gift card. It's always good to have it close by. And all you're gonna do is you're gonna take this and you're gonna do the color side down or the side you want dominant, and you're gonna fold it, and you're going to bring these little points to meet or to be at the same height. But you also want this to be the same width. Okay, so I don't want it to be wonky this way or wonky that way. I want this, and I can measure this out for you. I'm just going to crease that right now. That's like always an angle that's always kind of hard to, like, how did I get that angle? So I'm going to grab a ruler, one that makes sense for me. And I'm going to tell you this is exactly 1 inch. Okay, that's 1 inch. So you know that you've got a 1 inch, yep. You want it evenly 1 inch across, by the way. Okay, that's that. And then what I do is this is where I always take the card. You don't need to use the card, but I like to because I like to center it right where I want it to be because I want my points to be kind of right at the right place. And I'm just going to fold this little piece over like that. And then this one over. I mean, that's how easy this is. If you don't use the card, you have to guess, and then you got to play with it. So might as well use the card, and then you have it a perfect fit. Now you have this, and then what you do simply is take the piece, one of the points, and you fold it in like that. So easy, right? Of course, I just realized I didn't fold this up a little. There we go. And you want to tuck that in. Okay. Then when you've tucked it in, and a way to keep it from the card from falling out is I'm using my little art glitter dries clear, designer dries clear. I love this stuff. It's my only glue pretty much that I use. Besides nori paste, of course. But I wouldn't use nori paste for this. So I just put a little tiny bit on the bottom, and now it's sealed on the bottom. And that's that little fold. So just 4 by 6, or if you want to do larger, you just do a larger rectangle. And I've done these before. And then I put the little embellishments on it. like a glued whatever, a heart or something like that. And then you have your little gift card holder. And I think that's so cute. And you could put this in a journal. So you just glue the back and you have a little pocket that you could put your little notes or like a gift card in a card. I think this would be fantastic. Actually, I'm just thinking about this. If I were to, send a card to my daughter, let's say for her birthday, I hope she's not watching. But this would be a great way. You just stick this inside like this. Put your greeting on this side. Put your gift card here because you know how gift cards just run around and they float, they go around. This is perfect. Now they can take the gift card out, they can keep the card, and there you go. So I like that idea. First time I just thought of that. I don't know why. It's been, how many years I've been making these? It's crazy. So there's that. Now, you notice, and I'll cover this in a sec. In fact, I'm gonna do it pretty quick. And if anybody has any questions, there was another structure that somebody wanted to know about, and Phoebe, I'm wondering if it was this one here.
It might be that one if you want to get started. I don't remember. I did not catch which model it was you wanted us to show you. If you could type it in the comments, that would help.
And what I'll do, because now it's gonna take me a second to remember this, because I usually like to, when I teach origami or when I share it, I always like to practice like maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes ahead, or at least that day. And I made this like several days ago, so it's gonna take me a minute, but I know what I need to do to start. So if you're doing this, I'm gonna show you how to do two. Well, I'll show you how to do one, the fold once, and you will, of course, it's on the recording. And if you go to Layla's um, YouTube, you'll find it there too. But I already have one made, and I'm going to make another one. Yeah, then I'll show you kind of how it's made, and at least you have the information on how to make it. Then you have to make several to get this. You have to make at least, I believe, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 units to make this size. So that's just, do you want to make a bigger size or you make more units? So this piece, the way you want to fold it is you want to make thirds out of this. So there's different ways to do thirds. I kind of eyeball it. I'm terrible. But I look at, I sort of divide this. You want thirds. Some people do the S thing where they take an S, like they do this, and they just kind of, and I never had luck with that. I'm clumsy with that. But that's one way to divide your paper. Other people, you can take it mathematically, take your 15 centimeters, right? So you've got 7.5. Anyway, you could figure out your size. So it would be probably 5 centimeters, probably, maybe not. I don't know, 15. I don't know. But anyway, what I do is I do this. I just kind of, I do a soft fold. I don't make a real hard fold. I do sort of a soft fold, and then I kind of adjust it if I think I need to. And then we'll fold it over, and as long as I don't crimp the side, that looks like I have to move it over to the left a little bit. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and do a soft fold, and then I'm just gonna fold that over to this edge, as long as it doesn't fight me. There we go, and that's fine. Now I'm gonna make that a hard fold. So I just made 3. Now that's kind of how, that's not the most scientific way, but that's kind of how I do it. But that you can, however you want to do thirds, you want to fold it in thirds like this. Okay. So if you want to, and you're doing several, just keep one as a template. And you can take your other piece. So I'll just say I'm going to grab another piece, and you can take that other piece and just kind of, you can see where you need to fold it by just, whoops, putting that. Sometimes I'm like, there we go. You can actually just create maybe a mark. You can do a little mark with a pencil, however you want to do it. But I'm like, this is how I just kind of wing it, and it works for me. But there's other ways, I know. I find that there's so many ways to do the different folds, and people adopt their own. They're in their own thing, whatever works for you. And I'm just going to make sure that's an even across. It's evenly across. And I'm going to fold. There we go. So it's in thirds. I feel it. I don't feel any. And then I always check to make sure that that edge goes up to that. And if it doesn't, I kind of move it, smudge it just a little. And now it's good. Because you want that to be perfectly in thirds to make a really nice little unit. So here's the next step, is you take your paper and you fold it up in half like so. And you want to do this. So this paper, the outside is going to be with the pattern. Okay, so I'm going to do this one just to show you the difference. If I put the pattern inside, it'll be a totally different look. So I want you to know you have control over that. Okay. All right, so this is the fun part. After you've done the thirds, you know, it can be a little kind of intimidating. So now it's easy. So now I'm just going to take these little sides and I'm going to just kind of reinforce the fold. Okay. I'm going to do this on both here. Just reinforcing that fold to be a valley for now. These are valleys. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, going to pick this up, this kind of layer here. And what I'm doing is I'm pivoting it, right? And I'm going to take this part here. I'm hoping you can see this okay. I'm going to just take that and I'm going to make a point right there, that point. Once I found that point, I get to flatten it. So you can see what I did was I just laid it down, flattened it, but I started the fold right up here to make that sharp up here. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to open it up like I'm going to flatten it, as if I was going to flatten it straight down, but I'm not. What I'm doing is I'm just pivoting it, and I'm just going to make that point. Then I flatten it. So it's kind of a offset squash fold, right? So there it is, like this. Now I'm going to flip it over. And now I have these two flaps here. I'm going to take the same, I'm going to do a similar move, but I'm going to just do the same thing. But I'm taking it and I'm pivoting it. And I'm just going to bring that to that point and flatten. Opening it up. Make a squish fold as if you're going to flatten it straight down, but you're not. You're pivoting it with that point being, you want that to sharp point before you commit, and then flatten like so. That's that. Now the next step is you're going to take the top, these little flaps, these are flaps, right? You're going to take these, you're going to fold them right at this intersection, right where right where these little edges meet. Okay, so that's about an inch, I guess. Let's see. Not quite. It's 3/4 of an inch, about. But you want to just bring it down. You kind of, just make that fold. And then you're going to do the same thing on the other side. Just match what was on the other side. Okay, like so. And now the last step is to take these corners and just fold them as far as you can to the inside. Leave these little flaps to that inside. You can feel that edge, that folded edge. It's got to be, you want to get that as sharp as you can. In fact, I don't think I got this one even. This might not look as good as I thought. Here we go. Okay. And then the last step on this. So this is you're almost ready. You're going to open it up and you're going to push in. In fact, I think this is on my channel too. Push this in, reverse that fold so that it goes inward. Okay, so goes like this. And then you push this to go in. Push it down inside. And now that is one of the units. You see that? And that's how you make the pocket. And then when you attach them, since I have a second one, you're going to attach it. So you hold one upside down, one right side up. So it's like this. And you're going to just take those little pockets. And you've got these little places you can kind of insert those pockets in. I'm going to be all thumbs today. And you just do that, insert it, and there it's in there. You see how it just slides and it matches that. And then this side gets inserted in this one, in the bottom one. Whoops, you want to go this way. I went on this side. You want to do what's closest, the pocket closest to you. So there we go. And it can be a little fun, tricky, but you just make a whole bunch of these. And then you'll have yourself a beautiful accordion pocket container thing. And I don't even know what the name of this model is. Somebody might know. Tell in the comments, please write it down. Tell us. And I believe it was a Wate, yeah, oh boy. I'm not going to try. I'm just full of my words are not there. So, but you see how that worked? We got 1, 2. This one, if I do this one real quickly, I'll show you how that, if you do three, you'll at least get two pockets. So I'm gonna just do the little collapse point thing. This is how fast it can go once you get the hang of it. You just kind of do it like this, turn it over, fold that back over so that it's, you keep that nice sharp fold on the sides, which I didn't show you before. You just make that little corner fold, make this little corner fold, and then fold these little flaps down. And again, flaps down. It almost looks like a little basket right now, doesn't it? And then I'm just going to fold those little bits in, those little side parts, all the way to the center as far as I can. You want to get that sharp point as sharp as possible. And I'm opening it up and I'm going to just push that in and push this side in. So that's how quickly you can make them once you get the hang of it. And then I'm gonna just attach this so you can see how cool this looks when you do. Here, I'll do this side. There we go, upside down. So you want to do it this way. See how I have it like so. And I'm just gonna slide that in. And what I usually do is I put a little glue, because if you don't glue a little bit, they'll want to slip apart. And that's no fun when you put it together. So I just add a little bit of glue to add right after I've attached it. Like right now, I'll put a little glue there. And then this little bit right here, it's the closest one to it. And then sometimes you just have to kind of bend the paper. And this paper is so sturdy that it kind of is lovely paper, if I might say so myself. It's just the quality. I mean, it could be any artwork on it, but the quality is phenomenal. It's just good stuff. We have a really good source for our paper in Japan, and it's way better than, there we go. Way better than a lot of the paper you would find. Oops, I did not attach that. But you see what I mean? Now that one's done. Now I want to get to the fun one. Make sure this is done before I move on. Get that in there. Come on in there. Oh, goodness. All right. That's good enough. And then what you do, put the glue in and then leave it. But there, it's so cute. Just the three, it's really cute. So that's really cool. Yay, you can put like salt and pepper in here if you want, right? Okay, moving on to the fun. I know this is what people want to see. So
I'm also gonna just mention real quick, whenever you want to do it, but Becky also asked if you could demonstrate the pop-up box or I think the pop-up envelope. I'm not sure which one you called it.
the pop up. Let's
It's like
see.
that little folder, and usually you write like a cute little quote inside, and then you lift up the
Not
flaps and
this
it
one.
opens up.
The pop-up one. Where am I? Where?
You
Oh,
showed
that
it
one. Oh,
earlier. It
this
must be
one.
on.
This must be the one.
I think that's the one.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I can do that one. So let's see, we got plenty of time, absolutely. So this one, and this is a great one for this with this paper. It's absolutely the best. Is this, you're gonna take your paper. If you want depending on what side you want to be dominant, I'm gonna just make this side is gonna be this part here. I want the pink to be inside. So I'm going to start with my pink side up, and I'm gonna make a triangle fold on both sides. Like so. Okay, like that. And then I'm going to take this point and I'm going to fold it to the center. And I'm now opening it up, folding it to the fold I just made. Okay, folding it back like on the same fold. And then again, one more fold to the center, like that. Okay, so that's basically you've got 1, 2, 3 creases and then the center. So 1, 2, 3. All right, and then the same thing goes to this one. And I want to make sure this point is lining up. It's basically aligned with that crease that's right. You can see the crease here. You want to make sure that's lined up with that. If it's not, it becomes a problem. So you want to make sure that's lined up. And then same thing here, fold it here, roll, and then last fold, you fold like this. So now you have like a long belt. You also have this fold. If you can see the crease, I barely see it. My old eyes. Okay, I'm going to just reinforce that so you can see it. There's a crease here. And what you're going to do is you're going to build your box on one side, and then we're gonna build the box on the other. So I'm gonna do this one way, and I'll repeat it exactly on the other side. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this, and I'm gonna take this folded edge, and I wanna lay it over to, right to the, that crease that I talked about. And I'm gonna just kind of do this. I'm just creasing it, but I'm not flattening it. I'm just creasing it as far as it wants to go. And the same thing, I'm going to do the same. Bring that and then just, make that crease. It looks like a scoop. But that, then what you'll do is you'll take that and you're going to fold this, you're going to lay it down, and you're going to line that point to this crease is going this way. And then you're just going to flatten it. Okay, so you have this. Looks like that now. And then you're going to take these parts, this part here, there's a crease already there. I'm not making a new one. I'm just reversing it. I'm just folding it in towards the center. Same with this one. Folding that, and I'm going to sort of adjusting it a little bit to make sure that it lines up to the edges on the underneath. Then I'm going to take this part and I'm going to fold that towards the center. Now you can keep it like this. In fact, I'm going to keep this one like this time just to show you that there are variations of this. The other one, I folded points. Basically, I folded these points going in, okay? I'm going to just leave that out so you can see it. The next thing, I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I just basically turn it and I bring that up, and same thing, just kind of becomes like you've just got to line that crease up. It's a diagonal crease, you can see, or a valley crease that goes it goes, basically, it divides this little square in half, basically. So it goes this way, and then lay it flat. And then usually what I do is I make sure it's lining up by just kind of turning this over to make sure that I haven't shifted anything, because shift happens. And I just kind of fold. It's already there. The crease is already made. Reversing the crease, it's there. And I'm noticing the shift happened here. So I'm just going to kind of move this fold a little so that it's better aligned, even though it's not perfect. It's okay. Then I'm going to fold this towards the center, and I'm opening it up and folding it back. That is the little pop-up box without the pointed handles, but I think that's cool because you can put, you can hand letter on that. You can put something on it, a little, whatever you want on that. But if you did want to do the little inside, all you have to do is fold these this way. So you can see, you can change it up. You can even make a heart shape if you want. That one's a little bit, doesn't have a point, but so I hope you got the idea of that one, because I want to move on to the other, the other one, the thing that
And
I
Karen,
know.
sorry, just to
Yeah,
ask before we forget, but you had shown just a moment earlier, it's like a little black square book with the flower. Someone's wondering what that is, and then I'll share a tutorial link if we can
yeah.
find out what
So this is
that
called a star book. It's
star book.
basically a preliminary base, which is an origami term, and a preliminary base. You fold the preliminary base. I'll do it because it's so easy. I'm going to take a little, let's see. I'm going to take this one. And to do the preliminary base, you start, let's just see what I'm going to do here. I'm going to start by folding a triangle point to point like this. Okay, open it up, fold it again, point to point, like so. And then I'm going to turn it over so that my pattern side, these are now mountains. And I'm going to fold a valley fold in half this direction. This is a preliminary base. The crane is made from this. A lot of origami is made from this basic base. It's like the most preliminary or the most basic. Now you're going to collapse it and put it like this. This is it, see? And then what you have, of course, I shouldn't have folded this crease. I could have eliminated one crease. So maybe just do one triangle and then the other two, the crisscross or the, oh boy. Oh, whatever it's called. So you make a bunch of these, like 5, you make 5. And then what you do is you just take some glue, put it on top, and then just stack them one on top of the other. And that's how you get this, okay? So you can see that base is this. Okay, there it is. So I hope that helps. And then what I did was I glued, I just took some chipboard and put some real book cloth on top. And I used a little fussy cut flower that I did, which I'm doing a lot of lately. And now there's one other way. This is one way you open it. Now there's another way to glue these where you have them, you glue them instead of stacking one on top of the other, you can glue them stacking like you just sort of insert and let like and rotate, and that gives you more of an accordion. So that's that book, and there's a lot of tutorials already out there, a ton on how to make the star book. And some people might call it something else, but I call it a star book. Now let me show you this. This is something, these little cute pockets that I first thought would be really cute in the journal. And then I went nuts and I made flower pots like crazy, right? Flower pots with flowers, and I love these flowers. And I did take a these are some of these are from Tiffany Sharphead. He has a watercolor class. I think she calls it Imaginary Wildflowers. I think that's the name of it. So if you want to take a class from her, she has really cute ideas about, painting flowers. But I have my own little way, and I'll just do a quick thing on my little technique so that you can paint some today, because some of you want to make your Mother's Day presents or make one for yourself, right? So here's the blank card. So my first thought was when I did this was I did it the pot first, then I did the flowers, and I glued it on the card. I didn't like the background, so I made a new one and I did the background first. So the first thing I did was I laid down the watercolor greeting card. Strathmore makes these, and I just did a wash of blue and a wash of this brown tan color. Let it dry, and I splattered a little bit, and that was it. I let it there. I let it stay there. When it completely dried, I folded this little pot, which is this, glued it on, and I did the lettering, which is a Frida Kahlo quote, which is my favorite quote. I think I used to say this years ago. Frida and I must have been, I don't know, in tune, that's for sure. Then I thought, why not throw some flowers in here? So, I mean, I can put the whole bunch if I want. All these can go in there. Then that's like a real fat bouquet. Or you can just put a few, you can be a minimalist too. You can maybe put just maybe 2, 3 flowers in them, whatever, just whatever you want. So I'm going to show you how I did the flowers and a quick little thing on that. So that at least you've got something. So what I do is I use of course, the watercolor paper, Yasutomo 140 pound cold press watercolor paper. You want 140 pound because it's heavy enough, stiff enough to stand up after you've cut it out. And then what I do is I've got Niji watercolors. And my day isn't complete unless I get to watercolor, right? So, so fun. This is so much fun. And if there's any questions, I'm not reading much of the chat, ladies, gentlemen. I can just want to keep creating. So
You're
I'm going
doing
to
great.
bring, yes. What was that, Phoebe?
I was just saying you're doing great. No
Oh,
worries.
oh, cool. Thank you. So I've got my fusion brushes. I've got my Niji, the essentials. But what I did, and I'm going to have to tell you, I can't stand not having opera. The hot pink color that's fugitive. This is Holbein opera. I threw that in because there's room. That's what I love about this set we have is we have the transparent colors that that I picked actually for Yasutomo. No other company has this combination of colors. These are intended for mixing. They don't make mud. They just make a beautiful gray, a beautiful black, or a beautiful whatever colors you want. But I still need there's 2 colors that I love and I need to throw them in. This is Opera, and this one is Moonglow by Daniel Smith. Moonglow and Opera. Those are just something I just had to throw in there. And that's what I love about this Niji set. Now I can take this and I won't be missing my 2 favorites. So just had to tell you if you were wondering, because I know Phoebe, you probably thought, well, wait a minute, we don't have that many colors. No, we don't. We have 12. So now I have 14 in my set. So what I'm going to do is I've got my fusion brushes and I'm going to use 2 I'm going to use, let's see, I'm going to use, what do I have here? The 4. Yeah, these are both 4s. Okay, so I'm going to take that one away. So I've got the 4, the 3, and the 2. I'm not going to use the 1 today because I don't want to go that fine of a line, but you can use whatever you want. I've got a little paper towel for my blood draw, for whatever I need. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make the stems and the stems. So I'm going to take some of this color. Oh, another way, just get this going quick. Spray water in your watercolor pan and then start mixing. This is sap green. It's really pretty by itself, but I rarely use a color by itself. Just never do. Because by itself, it's just too, yeah, I don't know, just needs a little something. So I can add, what I love about this set, I'm going to add a little tiny bit of this, it's a purple, and forgot the name, Purple Lake, I think. I'm just going to put a little tiny bit of Purple Lake in it. And what it does is it tones it down, this sap green, just enough. It just looks more subdued, more like plants, very leafy. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to, since I only have this much room, I've got flowers to be up here and stems down here. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to make a stem, like just draw a line. And it doesn't have to be perfect, just a kind of a line. And I'm going to make it kind of on the thicker side. And I think I might just do a gang here, a quick, maybe do 4. I'm going to do another one that's kind of a little bit, it's a little bit light. Let me just try to, I'm going really pale today. I don't know why. I might add a little more color. Just go a little darker. Add some more of that violet. There, that's darkening it. And then I'm going to do another one, a little bit, just a slight curve, not perfectly stick straight. Even sticks aren't straight, right? They usually have a slight bend to them because in nature, that's where they are. Here we go, slight bend. And then I'm going to take my Moonglow because I can't stand it. Now, Moonglow is a mixture. It has all kinds of good stuff in it. But the Moonglow mixed with that sap green, I'm going to create the little parts. And I don't know the anatomy of a flower, but I'm going to just create these little parts just before the flower. I forget what it's called. And I could make a little, like a shape that looks like a triangle, like that. Or I could make like a round bulbous shape. Really, you can do whatever you want. It's really up to you how you want to. You can make it wide or a little small shape. You can do however you want. Little, just kind of a shape that makes it fun. You just get wild with it. Now that is my green. I could add some down here, but I'm going to leave that alone. I could add some more moon glow, but I'm not gonna. But here is now I'm going to do the flowers. I'm going to switch this out and not work with the green. I'm going to work with my colors for my flowers. And now I've got these colors. I've got the yellow, it's a quin gold or something similar. I don't have my color chart, but usually I do. But this one could be gamboge, but they're a very pretty yellow. Just by itself, it's gorgeous. So I'm going to use that to make, I think I'm going to make one flower with that just to start. Loading up my brush nice and big. And while this is kind of wet, I'm just going to make I don't know, I'm just going to make a weird, kind of I don't know what to call this. It's like a daisy, but not quite. It's, and then I'm going to throw a little bit of this. Oh, no, I'm going to put this color. Really, but you don't want to overthink this one. I'm going to just stick some at the bottom base here and leave it like that. And then I'm going to take this one and I'm going to go some of this nice scarlet color. I really want to load my brush up on this one. In fact, it's always good if you're going to be mixing these and just kind of load your brush up nice and big. This one I'm going to do more of like a kind of a rosy, just kind of bringing the brush up kind of to a point. And I'm going to have to get some of my opera because I love it so much. And I'm going to just tap it in a little here, tap it in there, and let it sit. And then this one, I'm going to do a blue flower. Why not? Let's do primary colors. And then I'm going to take this one so you can see it a little bit better. And I'm going to just lay this brush on its side and I'm going to kind of scrub like this, just like there. It's like a carnation, right? Just a scrub. And then I can take some of this purple color. And I'm gonna just tap that down at the bottom. Just tap, 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 right at the bottom. Now one more color. It needs a pink. I need that pink. And maybe, there we go. And then let's see. I'm gonna make like a little bud, kind of like just a tiny little bud. There we go. And I'm just gonna just kind of bring it up so that it almost has a drop, like, I don't know what you call it. It's like a rosebud. And then this time I'm gonna put a little blue at the base of it. And then I'm gonna let that dry. You can do like leaves if you want to add a leaf, you add a leaf now. And anyway, let those dry. And when they're dry, you can start your bouquet. So here's what I did earlier. I made some of these, and the way I did this is I cut to kind of like start. You just want to cut out the basic, just kind of cut around the basic pieces like this with a big pair of scissors. See how I've got like these long handled scissors? That I do. I'm gonna move that out of the way. That I do because I want to just get, want to cut the whole thing all at once, or do the fussy cutting or the detail cutting, we'll call that, because it is detail. Now, here's what, and this is something that I have to show you. A very good friends of mine, they were selling these scissors. We are so lucky to sell them now. We've got some for sale, and Phoebe's going to put the information in the link. Judikins these are called detail scissors, and I like these because they're like embroidery scissors. They're very small tip. They've got a very sharp. They're not serrated. They don't feel like a saw blade like a lot of those little small scissors do. These make a nice detail. And then your fingers, it's got a little wider thing. Your fingers don't get caught, or your knuckles don't get caught. So what you do is, the way I do this is just kind of go around with your detail scissors, and you just go kind of don't go to the edge. Give yourself about, I don't know, a tiny border of light, because that gives that more of an interest to your flower. If you don't leave white, you don't see the subtlety of the watercolor wash. Sometimes, that pale wash that looks so cool, that white really makes it stand out. And then I'm just going to make that stem thick enough so that it won't just wobble. That's why it's a little thicker. And you just cut. Now, I'm not going to cut all these out for you, but I wanted to show you these scissors because they're fabulous for detail cutting. I talked to Judy yesterday, actually. You have like several pairs. You put one in your craft room, one in your sewing kit, one, you just put them in different places, because you know how if you're like me, you'll go, where did I put those? And I know that they're reasonable. I'm curious, can you tell me how much they are, Phoebe, since I never looked on the site?
Yeah, so normally they retail for $5.95, but we have, sorry, $5.75, but we have them on sale for $4.35 right now, so it's a good time to grab a pair.
Or two or three or four. Wow, that's good. Okay, so these are great. So, and they come in different colors. So when you buy them, you're gonna see, you could get a black pair, a pink pair, yellow, blue. It's gonna be, I don't think there's a way to request a color, but or that's why you'd want to get more, because you can get all the colors. Is that right, Phoebe? Are you selling them with the color, or are you doing just whatever?
Yeah, well, we're doing it so that you get what you get. But like Karen said, they do come in 6 different colors.
I have to show you. I'm gonna grab, oh, okay. Here's the yellow. Aren't they cute? You know what? I would just get all of them. Here's the black. So whatever you get, you're gonna be happy. And I don't know where my blue is. I know it's somewhere. But anyway, you can see, oh, there's a green. And then there's a blue also, kind of a lightish blue, but these are the colors, and they make a really cute little. But I have several, so that's the way a lot of things I use for paper, I'll separate for paper, something for fabric, you know how that goes, right? When you're creating. So that is the flowers. So, and I also do like some things, like after this is dry, it's not dry yet, but when it's dry, I do add details like little dots with my pen. See, this is real simple, there's nothing to it. Just had the little, you know, did my thing, and then I just added a couple little dots. you know, this one's a real simple shape and I added a little leaf. Oop. So you can see you can make these as fun. Here's one with a little sort of a drawn doodle thing on it. And then some of these are with a little another layer of watercolor, like just another layer. So now the way I showed you on this one and the one I cut out, they're just different. Like this one, I didn't do the little bulb part below the flower. So however you want to make them and cut them all out. And I'm going to show you how I folded this. But if you've already gone to my website and you've learned how, to the page, you learn how to fold it. But it's a really cool fold. I have to remember now how to do it. So let me just take this apart for a second. I'm having a moment where I'm going, how do I do that? So what you do, if you get into the same predicament like me, you gently unfold something. Especially if you you don't have your diagram close by, you can actually remember how you do something and you go, oh, okay, I remember now. So I want the red to be the outside. So, but if I wanted this to be on the outside, I would start my fold this way. So I'm going to fold it in half, point to point or corner to corner, diaper fold, whatever you want to call it. And then you're going to make a pinch. You're not going to fold it. You're just going to pinch the middle. So you're going to make those two points meet, and then you're just going to make a pinch. And you only do that because you want to see where the middle is. I think that's what I'm doing. I forgot now. Oh gosh. I'm having a moment. I have to watch my own video. Oh, there we go. Then you're going to take, oh boy, just ignore me there for a second. Then you're going to take the point, the top point, top point, and you're going to take it to that pinch you just made. See that pinch? I'm just going to take that point and lay it right to that end, and I'm going to crease. This is different from Gay's version. She does a different thing. I'm going to just fold this whole thing over. So basically, this part basically looks like this. Okay. So here you are. You fold it down, and then you're going to take this piece and just fold it inside. Okay. That is going to make it so that I have a smooth back side that I can fold or that I can glue onto something. The next step, this is where I'm now having a moment. I'm having a moment. Okay. So, and this is also going to make this job easier too. Is when you're folding, you're going to take this. Oh boy, I'm so glad that I made a recording. So this little part right here, see that little where your edge here, where this flap happens, this point right here, that's where you want to bring this long edge, and you want to use that as your starting point, and you're just going to bring it up to meet that folded edge like this. Okay, it's really easy. I don't know why I was making it so hard. But you know how that goes. All right. And then I'm going to take the same one, this point, I'm just going to leave it there. And this edge right here, this piece right here is going to lay right over that. And I'm going to use that as my starting point. So I'm going to take it right there. And then I'm going to line it up to the top and then crease this edge. Let's see what's happening already, right? So then what you're going to do is you're going to open this up, lay it down like this, I think. Oh boy. It's gonna take me a second, ladies. Yeah. You just lay it like this. You're gonna do, no, you're not. Refresh, rewind. Okay. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna create a line. And if I were to show you, I'm gonna just do a little draw, like a little, excuse me, I'm gonna sneeze. Ooh. Excuse me, I sneezed. All right. I'm gonna show you this because this is probably easier just to illustrate it. But I'm going to make a little hem and I'm going to use this, and this isn't going to show, so I don't mind showing it. But you see that line right there that I just drew? I'm going to fold that down to that line. That's as far as it'll go. But you can use it, this little point is this little intersection here is your place, but you're going to fold it right there, like that, okay? Then the next fold you're going to make is, you're going to fold this whole thing, just basically fold it as far as it go, like so. Okay, so it looks like that. I think that's so pretty with the pink and then that little bit of decorative border. Now this looks pretty close to being done. It is a pocket, right? But it's going to be, we're going to make it narrow, and I'm going to just fold these little corners, and I'm going to use those little edges as my little starting point. I'm folding them, and I want them to be symmetrical as possible. So I'm just kind of making them match. And the way you do that is you just kind of eyeball it. And there's probably other ways, but that's the way I do it. And then once you do that, really give it a sharp, sharp crease with you have your folding tool handy, really sharp crease, because the last step, and this is then we're done, is you take this part, open it up, and you do that reverse fold. You squish it, you push that side inside, just like you did that little pocket. See, again, I was just warming you up to this. But you just squish it inside. Come on, let's go. It doesn't want to go. And then you do the same thing on the other side. Just open it up and then do a little, take it, open it, and then push that down. And don't make new creases, just use the existing creases and then push it inside. And that's what gives you that three-dimensional pocket, and all the little flowers can be tucked inside. And then the fun part is doing your arranging. So you can, arrange them. And then once you've arranged them, you can put some glue in. I haven't done it yet because I'm just having too much fun making flower arrangements. But if you want to make a flower arrangement and you really love it, my suggestion, I'm going to show you a suggestion. Let's say I'm going to stick to yellows and pinks here. So you can just choose how you want to do these. And then once you get that down, you get like, you can cut some of the stems to make them a little shorter if you want, like a real flower arranger would do, right? You trim your stems. I don't want that one. And then once you've done that, and you've kind of made the arrangement that you love, you can take everything out like this, kind of like keeping it in your hands like this, and then put your glue in. Put your glue in a couple spots here and there, and then put it in there like so. And then once you've got that, just press down and it's not going to move. So does anybody have any questions? I know, Polly, I'm have not doing the origami speak. I'm not very, we have valley fold. We have proper etiquette when it comes to folding, and I keep messing it up. But that's just what's going to happen for a while, I think. So does anyone have any questions? It's 3 o'clock. I can't believe it's a little after 3. We've had so much fun. I'm hoping that it inspired you to try our double-sided origami papers, and also have a happy Mother's Day with making these gorgeous flower pots. And, I'm going to give one to myself. It would be really cute to make a little tiny one, like with a small piece. Just thought of this, little tiny flowers with a little, like half the size, and then putting a pin back on it would be a cute little Mother's Day pin, wouldn't it? I just think that would be so cool. Yeah. So, anybody have any questions? Everybody's so quiet.
I think we're good. But we do have visitors who joined us just as the live stream kept on going, even from Argentina,
Welcome.
Florida. Yeah. And Christy was asking, she's somewhere in Europe, I believe. She was saying that, or she was asking if we can sell our double-sided paper on Amazon. So, Christy, we at Yasutomo, we don't sell our products directly through Amazon, but we sell, as you guys know, I'm sure, to a lot of different retailers, and some of those retailers do list Yasutomo product on Amazon. So it's possible, but we don't do that ourselves. They make that decision on their own. But if you want to send me an email at info@yasutomo.com, I can see if there's anything I can do to help you find the products that you're looking for in Europe. Oh,
Yay, thank you, Phoebe. You're always
Mother's Day
wonderful.
wishes.
We want to make
Yeah.
sure everybody has access, right, to these products because they're fabulous. Oh, Becky ordered the new yummy papers. Thank you, Becky. And anyone else who did. I hope that you all just have a really good weekend, whatever you do. Oh, 75 people are watching right now. Wow, this is fun. It's a party. Let's have a party, flower party. There you go. I mean,
Well, if you do happen to make any of these items, or if you were even inspired by what Karen showed today and you make something totally different, still tag us, still tag Yasutomo and Karen Elaine Creative because we want to see what you make. And I'm getting a little bit better at being on Instagram, so I'll look out for your posts to like them. Sometimes we share other people's art on our stories, just to share the beautiful things that you guys create.
and I'm going to say hello for a second. I know now that you've seen this, I want to just wave, and I hope that you maybe take me off the spotlight for a second and put your
Yep.
put
Give
it
me just a moment to find that.
just to say hello and wave and blow everybody a kiss or blow hugs or whatever we do, virtual hugs. There we go. And then I'll say hello too. Hi. I'm wearing my colorful watercolor shirt today.
Matching the flowers. It's perfect.
So much fun, so much fun. So thank you everybody for coming, and thank you Phoebe as always for answering all of our questions. There,
Thank
everyone's questions,
you.
and we look forward to seeing you in a couple weeks. We're doing something. We've already figured it out, right? Right? What is it?
Yeah, we had a lot of ideas for different live streams, but I think we landed on maybe doing one about washi paper. So that's if that's not next live stream, that is one that's coming up.
Okay, so we're going to
Yeah.
be diving into a deep dive into washi paper, and then we're going to probably, hopefully, we're hoping that we can do a cyanotype thing in a couple, maybe in a month.
Awesome. Oh, thank you everybody for joining us. And have a great weekend. Have a great Mother's Day if you guys are doing anything for that. And thank you so much, Karen. Happy early Mother's Day to
Thank
you.
you, and you too, Phoebe. Thank you, and
Thank
everybody,
you.
mwah, and thank